Tesla stock is down over 3% today, and you will not guess why. According to Walmart's CEO, a massive round of deflation is coming over the next couple of months. This means recession, and could be a deep one. Deflation is actually much worse than inflation, believe that or not, for an economy. We're going to get into this developing story, all of the data today that came out for our markets, which does, to Walmart CEO his point, give him some credit here. You're starting to get some deflationary data that came out today. We are also going to get into your Tesla stock news, look at the charts. Where is Tesla stock likely to go next, as well as Tesla's option activity. We have a lot to get into in a short amount of time. We're going to jump straight into it. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because they are free 99. It costs you absolutely nothing to do. If you guys would also like to come trade with us live in real time, I send out my alerts every time I make a trade. We have been hitting some home runs over there. We would love it if you could come join us. We will welcome you with open arms. 10-year treasury yields are actually down about 7 basis points today. On this news, really? From Walmart's CEO. A 7 basis point drop in 10-year treasuries would have, as of lately, caused stocks to rally, and indeed that is not happening today, especially in your interest rate sensitive companies like your Russell 2000. That is down almost 2% today. The headline of this article says Walmart shares slide as retailer gives a cautious outlook about consumer spending. Walmart says inflation has also waned, and in some categories, deflation has taken hold, a trend that could help Walmart shoppers but hurt the company's sales. Prices of some grocery items remain higher, but they have fallen for dairy, eggs, chicken, and seafood, CEO Doug McMillon said on the company's earnings call. He added that relief is coming for customers as they look for holiday gifts. General merchandise prices have continued to fall, setting up the company for a turnabout. Its sales have risen in part because shoppers have had to pay higher prices for many items during a period of inflation. But this is really the part that is getting the markets today. Quote, in the US, we may be managing through a period of deflation in the months to come, and while that would put more unit pressure on us, we welcome it because it's better for our customers, he said. Then, in a separate interview with CNBC Chief Financial Officer John David Rainey, said customers are leaning heavily into major promotions as they watch their spending and search for deals. Quote, our events have been strong, he said. We've been pleased with those. Halloween was good overall, but in the last couple weeks of October, there were certainly some trends in the business that made us pause and kind of rethink the health of the consumer. Now, if there is any company that has a general sense of how the consumer is doing broadly, it is Walmart. Hands down. Walmart is the largest employer in the US. They have the most data on what people are spending their money on. So this is not good at all. Specifically, deflation. A lot of people have not even heard deflation in a long time. Deflation is much, much worse than inflation because deflation works something like this. If you are a company, let's say you sell iPhones or whatever, or TVs. Let's go with TVs for $300. Well, let's say nobody's buying TVs. So deflation's here. You're lowering prices. The consumer is not doing well. Let's say now your TV is selling for $200. Let's say you had 1,000 employees. Well, if you're bringing in 30% less revenue, you're probably going to start laying people off pretty quickly. So lower prices companies are selling things for leads to employees getting laid off, leads to those employees no longer to buy the even lower price products. And it is a big circle of lower prices, more layoffs, less spending, and goes back to more layoffs, lower prices, less spending, and continues to circle around in that fashion. Whereas inflation, yeah, it hurts consumers, right? People are spending money on products that are costing more, so businesses can, in theory, retain employees and retain their margins and continue to sell products. So deflation is actually much worse than inflation. And Walmart's CEO and chief financial officer didn't sound like deflation might happen. They sound like they're saying deflation is already here. This pretty much guarantees we're heading into a recession if deflation takes hold. Coincidentally, today you actually got data that supports deflation and a weakening economy. Initial jobless claims for the first time in a long time spiked to 231,000. The estimate was 220,000. Last week, you were at 218,000. Philly Fed Manufacturing Index came in at negative 5.9. Estimate was negative 9, so that actually beat estimates there. But export prices year over year fell 4.9%. Estimate was negative 4%. Import prices year over year fell negative 2%. Estimate was negative 1%. That is supporting that deflation argument. Look at this. Philly Fed business conditions, negative 2.1. Last month was positive 9.2. Philly Fed CapEx came in at negative 1.3. Philly Fed employment at 0.8. Last month, this was at 4. Philly Fed new orders came in at 1.3. Last month, that was 4.4. And Philly Fed prices paid, that is dramatic. Came in at 14.8. Last month was 23.1. So people literally paying less for products in that Philly region. Industrial production month over month came in at negative 0.6%. The estimate was negative 0.2%. Industrial production year over year came in at negative 0.7%. Estimate was negative 0.5%. So again, supporting that deflation, that slower economy narrative with industrial production for the US. You can also see this in the probabilities for Fed policy. For December 13th, you're basically at a 100% chance of a continued hold. For January 31st, you are at a 97.8% chance of a continued hold with a 2.1% chance of a rate cut. Yesterday, the probability of a rate cut was 0.2%. So that's went up 10x just from yesterday. March 20th, you're at a 62.6% chance of a pause and a 36.5% chance of a rate cut. Yesterday, the probability of a rate cut for March was 25.5%. That is up about 11.5% from yesterday. For May 1st, you're pricing in your first rate cut, 55.7% chance, and you're actually pricing in a higher probability of 2 rate cuts by May than staying paused until May. That's insane. So the probability of 2 rate cuts is now 27%, like I said. Yesterday, the probability was 18.1%. So you're literally seeing the Fed funds futures reacting to Walmart's comments and some of these second-tier data points that came out today. That is why you are seeing weakness in stocks that are sensitive to interest rate policy, but also a recession, right? A Tesla is very sensitive to rates going higher or lower, but also a recession. Tesla stock is down about 3%, and that's why the Russell is also down about 2% today. TLT is up 1.29%. USO is down 4.44%. Holy moly. That is huge. That's a huge drop for oil. That's because people think a recession is coming. At least that's what Walmart CEO said today. That's the narrative that is taking hold. Typically, oil does not do well during recessions. So that's a little bit more confirmation that that recession narrative is really starting to take hold today. The dollar is up 0.34%. That one's a little strange. If we do head into a recession, that means lower rates. The dollar will fall. So I'm expecting more weakness in the dollar. Gold is up 1.8%. I find that a little interesting as well, considering gold typically falls during recessionary periods. But really, that 4.5% drop in oil tells the whole story here. It's a recession. is what is causing stocks to fall today. Tesla's option activity is very interesting. It looks like hedge funds and institutions are actually getting into bullish positions today. So far on the day, you have 630 orders totaling $159.24 million with a positive order value of 75%. That is remarkably strong. Over the past week, you've seen quite the rally in Tesla stock. You've had 6,522 orders totaling $10.02 billion with a positive order value of 50%. So today, you're 25% more bullish than your average over the past week. Volume today is 55% to the call side and 45% to the put side. Today's 3% drop in Tesla stock is a little bit of relief for the shorts that were down over $3 billion in the course of this last week. The dollar amount currently sold short is estimated at $18.64 billion, with a live short interest of free float at 2.82%. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, went on the Joe Rogan Experience and says he's never heard of Tesla's Cybertruck. He also didn't know Tesla has an SUV. Joe Rogan on the Cybertruck says seeing it in real life is so cool. There's something about photos. You're not physically there. When you're physically there and get to look at it, you're like, oh my God, this thing is so effing cool. I think that just shows you the degree of I don't want to say ignorance, that's not the right word, but lack of knowledge on the Cybertruck and what's coming next. It is literally going to take the world off guard when Cybertrucks start rolling around on the highways. This makes me even more excited for the upcoming halo effect for the Tesla franchise. And it looks like Tesla has discounts on new inventory Model 3s again. They aren't huge discounts, but Model Y still has no discounts. Tesla's Megapack is powering a solar project in Riverside County, California. The 250 megawatt, 1 gigawatt hour battery energy storage facility is located adjacent to the farm, supplying the electricity to 207,000 homes per year. And it looks like Tesla is officially advertising on YouTube. This is Tesla's first ever paid video ad. YouTube has more than 2.7 billion active monthly users, or about 34% of the global population. And let's go ahead and run this real quick. Just a simple, short, sweet ad. Yes, sir. Looking good to me. Elon Musk is seen taking a photo with Mark Benoff in San Francisco for the Apex Summit. He is the Salesforce CEO. And at Giga Texas, they are using cyber carts to move things around. Tesla has now confirmed its plans to take on electricity retailers in Australia, saying it will seek to combine rooftop solar, batteries, and EVs and disrupt the business models of traditional incumbents. And just if you forgot, there is now 2 weeks until Cybertruck deliveries begin. And based on some estimates in that video that we put out on the YouTube channel yesterday of literally a leaked inside video of the Cybertruck, that individual says 70 Cybertrucks will launch this month. Presumably, if the delivery event is on November 30th, that would mean 70 deliveries could happen the following day. Redwood Materials has signed a long-term contract to supply Toyota with recycled materials for the Japanese automaker's $13.9 billion North Carolina electric vehicle battery plant. Redwood will remanufacture EV battery components from vehicles supplied by Toyota and recycled from end-of-life vehicles. Elon Musk on China. He says, I'm very happy with our progress in China. I'm looking forward to meeting Xi. We met once briefly. I look forward to meeting again. And the Tesla Powerwall is now available in Portugal, according to Tesla Energy's X account. China's President Xi Jinping told Elon Musk that he supports Tesla's development in China, according to a statement from Tesla's Weibo account today. Xi met Elon on November 15th in San Francisco. Polestar announces they will use Tesla's supercharger network in China. And Lucid has fully unveiled its first ever SUV called the Gravity. Production starts in late 2024. The starting price, $80,000, up to 440 miles of range, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, 350 kilowatt hour fast charging, and a 6,000 pound towing capacity. And here are more images on the way it looks. They're clearly advertising the large frunk and pretty typical interior of what you are already seeing with Lucids. And honestly, it's not a bad price point compared to some of the estimates. Tesla Chan reports the CCS Combo 1 adapter price on sale at Tesla Korea shop has increased about $230 or so. And to remember this news, Kathy Wood went on CNBC yesterday and says Tesla is the biggest AI play in the world. This was actually on November 14th. Elon Musk says true. Singapore reported 58 Tesla sales and 2.5% market share for October, 100% of which is the Model Y. And year to date, this is a 0% change over the same period last year. But year to date, this is 80% of last year's total. We do have some earnings to come here in after hours. Applied Materials, that's going to be a big one in the semiconductor space. That stock is near a new all-time high. I personally have a trade on that one. If you guys want to come see it, link down below in the description of this video. You have Ross, discount retailer, and then you have Gap, you have Beazer Homes, Dolby, and Woodward, and then some other smaller companies as well that will be reporting earnings. Tesla's global inventory numbers look flat for the Model Y. For the Model X and the Model S, they're falling sharply, and for Model 3, that's actually increasing. That's a good sign that production is probably starting to crank up quite a bit. Search trend activity is spiking quite a bit for the Cybertruck and for the Model Y. The Model 3 is staying flat from yesterday's update. But I imagine the search trend activity is going to jump big time for the Cybertruck and for all Tesla models, at least temporarily after November 30th. And Tesla continues to run about 300 different ads, a majority of which in the US, and then Europe, and then last but not least, Australia has some for their energy storage products. The percentage of stocks above their 50-day moving average is falling a little bit from the highs that you've seen yesterday of 65% down to 56% today. Markets overall seeing a little bit of a cool down based again on those recession and or deflation fears. Tesla stock is trading at $236.35 per share. You are down 2.65% here on the day today. The low of the day was about $234.45 per share. It seems like you're finding some resistance around this 50-day moving average today, and I imagine you're going to be in this tight range for maybe the next couple of days. I think we need to get more data to either confirm a recession or confirm a soft landing. I think that's what the markets are really waiting on at this given moment of time. There's a lot of people that are negative on our markets. There's a lot of shorts on our markets. There's a lot of money on the sidelines. If you also look at the RSI, that is at 55.43, which is even closer to that neutral level. That is where I want to see Tesla. Tesla's MACD actually looks pretty dang good. The yellow line is above the blue line and even trending higher. So I'm not expecting a big fall from here until we get more confirmation of, again, recession or no recession. And I actually think the market's pricing in more rate cuts or maybe more rate cuts is appropriate, and that should turn out to be a positive for Tesla stock. And I think Tesla stock from now until the end of this year likely goes higher some point in 2024 when those recession fears do materialize, which I do think it will be maybe late December, beginning of 2024, when those recession fears do come, that's when you could see a broader pullback for Tesla and the broader markets. And that's why you want to have a lot of cash on the sidelines right here and right now. Let me know what you guys think about all of this information down below in the comment section. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel on your way out of this video. Again, if you guys want to come trade with us live in real time, link down below in the description of this video. We did make an earnings trade today that's looking pretty good so far. So come check it out. Come join us. We will welcome you with open arms. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.